Sup Swaggets! So this is part 2 of my Boba Fett, what it should be. I'm not gonna make too much of an introduction, so let's just get it on. The three men walk off of the hoverbox, and Boba Fett picks up his blaster as they leave. Just shoot them now if you want. It'll save me the trouble. Boba Fett turns around. Behind him, an old man leans against the doorframe of the Jahavi Inn.
Clinwood.
To what do I owe the pleasure? Boba Fett scans the streets. He can still see eyes watching from the shadows.
Inside.
The two men enter the inn. The reception area is littered with junk. I know, I gotta get this cleaned up, but there's not much point seeing as I don't get many customers. Clinwood leads Boba into an empty diner hall. Clinwood pushes out a chair and allows Boba to sit. You want a drink? Boba Fett dismisses the thought with a wave of the hand, and Clinwood grabs a bottle and a glass anyway and sits down opposite of him. What brings you to the Jahavi outpost? The Hutt finally sent you to kill me, I suppose?
The Hutt's dead.
Clinwood looks amused by the thought. Well, it was only a matter of time. Clinwood pours himself a cup of whatever's in the bottle and drinks it all in one go.
My ship's been damaged. You're the only person I know with the parts to fix it.
More than just a bad motivator, eh?
The whole compression field's been removed.
A compression field? I'm pretty sure I got one of those somewhere. Well, anyhow, that's gonna cost you. A lot. I assume you have the credits on you, correct? Boba Fett ignores the question and looks around the room.
Does this building have a balcony?
Yes.
Take me there.
The scene transitions to Boba Fett and Clinwood stepping out onto a balcony overlooking the small port. Boba Fett scans the area. Clinwood, standing next to Fett, follows his gaze. That there is the Domer Palace. Previously it was a Hutt's accommodation, but they moved out and left the palace abandoned. Big weapons dealers, those guys. You already ran into 3 of the brothers. Clinwood turns his gaze to the building opposite it. He gestures towards it. That is the Krell stronghold. A group of weakways moved in a while back. They deal spice and death sticks mainly. A huge feud is growing between them and the Domers. Boba nods and Clinwood then points to the one-story building across the street. And that there is the general supply store. The owner, Gerd Tarquin, a Rhodian of all things, sells secrets to both sides. The Domers and the Krells have been locked in a conflict over who controls Jahavi Outpost ever since they moved in here. Neither side has the weapons to wipe each other out. Nevertheless, the bodies pile up every day. Boba Fett looks back and forward between the 2 strongholds. He then looks at Clinwood.
Which side is stronger?
The Domers, I reckon, but only by an inch.
Reserve the compression field and give me a room.
You're staying? You have the credits, don't you?
No, but that's gonna change. Right now.
We transition to the Krell stronghold, where Morin Krell, the head of the household, sits with a young human wife, enjoying a large pint of beer. Surveying the room next to them is Moran's large muscled brother, Savaz. Around them the scene is chaos. Weakways, fighting, eating, drinking. Moran's wife looks very uncomfortable in this setting, but Moran loves the commotion. Moran suddenly jumps to his feet. He leaps onto the table in front of him. Brothers and sisters, lend me your ears. The room falls silent. The commotion stops. It was not too long ago that me and my brother came here, refugees in our own land, discouraged, hated. Using our strength we survived, but it was not only our strength that helped us, it was our support, in a place harsh and unsupporting. Weakways, men and women in this very building from all walks of life came to our aid and bonded with us. With the Domers soon to be a fading memory, we control this town. None of this could be accomplished without your support. I am happy to call you brothers. I am happy to call you Krells. Moran lifts his drink far above his head as the crowd erupts into cheers. Moran goes for a drink, but the glass never reaches his lips. A laser shatters the glass and the beers spill all over Moran. All eyes turn towards the shooter who stands silhouetted in the doorframe. His blaster still smoking. The weakways in the room go for their guns, but Moran raises his hand and they immediately freeze. Who are you? Stepping into the light, Boba Fett strolls forward. A deadly silence fills the room as Boba Fett makes his way towards Moran. He stops only a few meters away.
I hear you're hiring hunters.
Maybe I am. What of it?
I'd like to offer my services.
Moran looks at this shattered glass in his hand. You're a good shot, I'll give you that. But you have to do more than shoot a glass out of my hand to earn my respect.
What do you need me to do?
Moran grins and starts to pace the table on which he stands. Across the road from here lives the Domers. A family of slimy bantha feeders. 3 of their men have been harassing my dealers on the streets, but before I can send men to snatch them, they retreat into their palace and hide. The weak ways aren't allowed in the palace, so someone needs to go in there and teach them a lesson, by whatever means seem fit. Do you think you can handle that for me, bounty hunter?
Depends on the prize.
Moran's brother bursts into a booming laughter, and several weak ways do the same, but Moran is not amused. You'll earn your fair share, if you get back in here alive, with proof. Boba Fett silently nods. Moran pulls out a holoprojector from his pocket and chucks it to the ground in front of Boba. The 3 Dolma brothers who were harassing Fett earlier appear.
I know the men.
With that, Boba Fett turns away. Moran watches as Boba leaves his residence. Once he's gone, the room erupts into mayhem again, any meaning of Moran's previous speech lost. After he's gone, Savaz walks up to his brother. I don't think it's wise for us to put our trust into a human. Come on, Savaz. I trust Moran here. He gestures to the woman to his left, who remains eerily still in her seat. Moran grins proudly before turning back to Savaz. Besides, if he comes back, he could be quite an asset. I don't trust him. Neither do I. Doesn't mean we can't use him, though. Okay, so that was part 2 of my Boba Fett What Should Be. I know there was a lot of exposition in this one. It's all set up for payoff, which is going to happen next time in part 3. In the meantime, check out part 1 if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you want, and, as always, see you, Swaggets.